Rage is about a troubled teenage boy named Decker with a troubled past. He decides to take his frustrations out by carrying a gun to school, shooting two of his teachers, and holding his classroom hostage. Now, I did have some problems with this book. When Decker holds the class hostage, the way the class reacts to this situation and just the whole situation as a whole, like from beginning to the end of the book, the way the other students react to him was very unrealistic, in my opinion. Um, and there's even this one girl who just talks about or tells the whole classroom how she lost her virginity. And yeah, just the dialogue in this book was just unrealistic. And I don't see a teenage girl ever just telling the whole class about how she lost her virginity. Very, very weird book. And this came out after Carrie. So, Carrie, I really liked Carrie. And this one was, I don't know, it didn't feel, it felt very weird. Just like Stephen King comes out with Carrie, a really good book, and then writes this one, 4 years later or something like that, give or take. And it feels like he wrote this one without, well, he didn't really have much experience anyway. Carrie was one of his first books. So it kind of really shows just the way he tells the story. Didn't feel like Stephen King now, which is obvious. It's an older version of Stephen King, so it's not gonna feel like Stephen King now. Because the way this book is written, it feels like Stephen King hasn't learned his craft yet. And like I said, that can be understandable because it is one of his first books. But yeah, it was just weird how Stephen King handled this. Decker, the way he writes it, Decker feels like a hero when he should be the antagonist. And Ted, which is a student that wants to defuse the situation, and he tries to take the gun away from Decker a few times, and the other classmates they shun him for that. And like, I don't know, it was really weird. I know Stephen King wasn't going for that, but the way it came off, it felt like he was glorifying Decker's actions and making Ted, which is, the good guy, into a bad guy. And another thing I wanted to talk about was eventually at the end of the book, the class just gangs up on Ted and like beats the hell out of him. And I can't remember if he died or not. I don't know if they beat him to death or just beat him up real bad, but like I don't really get this book. I really don't. It's not a terrible book, but it's not a very good one either. And I want to go into the history of this book a little bit too, while I'm making this review. So this book is a rare Stephen King book. You cannot buy it brand new anymore. It's out of print, and the reason for that is back in the 80s, 90s. This book inspired some school shootings, and Stephen King let it go out of print or took it out of print, something like that. And so yeah, now it's like very rare if you find it in a used bookstore or something. The only real places you can find it is like on eBay or somewhere else online that sells used books. I actually have 2 copies of it. Alright, there's 2 ways you can find it. You can either get the really expensive version, the standalone book of Rage, or you can buy this copy, which is the Bachman books. If you buy this copy, there's 4 books in one, and Rage is the first book in it. Even these are not sold like this brand new anymore. Now if you bought the Bachman books, it's just 3 instead of 4. Rage was took out of it. So yeah, I have 2 copies of it. This one I bought on eBay when they were cheaper. I bought it for $5. Now they're over 15, up to 40 something. Was what I saw on eBay last time I checked. So these copies can be expensive too. I got lucky and found this at my old library. They have a for sale room, and I found it for 50 cents. I couldn't believe that. That was a really, really good find. But if you buy the actual copy of Rage, they have it on eBay for a few hundred to a couple $1,000s. Well, there's this one that's signed by Stephen King, and it's going for what, $9,000 on eBay. And not only that, but you had to pay $25 shipping. So I thought that was bullshit. Why wouldn't you get free shipping if you pay $9,000 for your item? Like, at least, you know, give you free shipping. Damn. But yeah, it's a pretty rare book, and I'm happy as hell that I have the Bachman books, 2 of the copies with the book in it. But yeah, this was the second time I read this book, and I liked it the first time, but then when I read it again, I didn't like it as much, and I was having a hard time thinking about what I was going to give this book as a rating, and I finally decided on 2.5 out of 5. I think that would be fair for the book. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible book, but it wasn't a good one either, and like, I think it was mishandled. Like I said, the way Stephen King writes Decker, it seems like he's trying to make him out as like a hero. Even the class, like, kind of makes him out as a hero for what he's doing, and I really didn't like how Stephen King was portraying that. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed the bigger point of this book. And if I am, you know, correct me in the comments. Explain the book to me. But yeah, I didn't really get it. But yeah, that's my review for Rage. If you have it, if you have the original copy of Rage, let me know in the comments, because that'd be pretty damn cool. Especially if you have a signed copy, because that damn book's worth a lot of damn money. So what did you think of Rage? Have you read it? Do you own a copy of the Bachman books at least? Yeah, let me know. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.